What's good, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with a live stream. I'm going to allow YouTube to send that notification out. Y'all let me know once you join the broadcast if you're able to hear and see me clearly. What's going on, everybody? What is going on? So I'm loud and clear. All right. I want y'all to screenshot y'all's phone right now. I want to see if y'all see what I see. But anyway, I see y'all joining the broadcast. Peace and blessings to everybody. Hey, listen. It seems like America's drying up. Or at least the currency is flowing a different direction. That's what it seemed like. I see y'all, brothers and sisters. Black Butterfly in the building. Benevolent Winds. Inbred was happening. I'm glad y'all catching another broadcast. It's good to see y'all. So, look, y'all, we got this food stamp crisis that's going on. Apparently, for the month of November, the well has ran dry as far as government assistance goes, and a lot of people are crashing out. There's a lot of people taking to social media in an uproar. There's a lot of people who are completely unsure and uncertain with how they're going to provide. And it's not looking too good, because at the same time the government is shut down and jobs are being cut. Lots of jobs. And a lot of people don't know what to do. You know, I've been saying for a long time that we got to change our mind frame as far as relying on this here system, because this system is designed to fall and fail. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to get into a different train of thought. We got to get into a different train of thought, man. I'm telling you. Look, I've been talking a long time about building our own communities, pulling ourselves up by the bootstraps, planting gardens. Most of all, I've been talking a lot about networking with like-minded people. It's very important in this day and age, because relationships is what matter when you have an economy crippling. That's what truly matters. Because it's going to get real out here in these streets. It's going to get real. This is only the tip of the iceberg. When you create desperate situations, the saying goes, desperate times calls for desperate measures. And that's what we're looking at. You're going to see people running out these grocery stores. You're going to see looting. And this is all in the near future. If they keep up with this government shutdown, you're going to see a lot of unrest. Now, as of late, we had the No Kings protest, where 7 million people took to the streets saying that they didn't want no kings, that they didn't want Trump to be the king of America. Came together 7 million strong They were organized. There was no violence. And guess what? Their protests made no difference. Let me repeat that. 7 million people came together. They were organized. They were spread out across the states. There was no violence, but guess what? There was also no results. It made no difference whatsoever. And the world seen that. Those who are trapped in our safety measures witnessed the fact that nothing came of that. So what do you think people are gonna keep doing? Marching? No, look. As the old saying goes, when the poor don't have nothing else to eat, they eat the rich. When the poor ain't got nothing else to eat, they eat the rich. That's what America's gonna be looking like. And eventually, people gonna see what's going on. Look, I disagree with the big beautiful bill. I disagree with cutting people's SNAP benefits. Although the main recipients of SNAP benefits happen to be Caucasian people. That's true. In fact, welfare was created for Caucasian people. Now, you have people that will give the per capita argument, but that argument doesn't really matter because nonetheless, they still outnumber us and they still are the biggest beneficiaries of SNAP. No matter how you slice it, they're going to be affected more by it. So it's not just a color thing. You got hungry people out here in a country where they want to feed everybody else but his own people. You're living in a country where they want to fund wars. They want to come to the rescue and give asylum to all these people from foreign countries, but the people within its own country are starving. That's a recipe for destruction. That's a recipe for destruction. These America's streets is going to be turned on its head real soon. And it's not going to be some theoretical crash out. They're going to be just, it's coming, y'all, it's coming. No, you're going to be able to turn on your TV and be like, wow, it's happening. It's happening. Now, I want you to think about those who actually deserve these benefits, who are no longer able to put food on their table. Now, of course, we got those people out there who they say abuse the system because they have multiple children. You have actual creators who get on there and show their shopping hauls and show them buying groceries and things of that nature. And they're a bad representation, to be honest with you. They're a bad representation. There's one creator in particular, I can't remember her name, but I think she had like 6 or 7 children, and she brags about her shopping hauls and things like that. See, they put stuff like that in the public's perspective for a reason, so people can be desensitized to the idea of children actually going hungry. Because what about the people who actually need it? There's no way we should be having hungry children in America, bro. When you can feed, with all the food we throw away, you can feed America over 4 times. Let me see. Somebody says, I'm a widow of 2 teen boys, one who is disabled, and I'm really scared of what's to come. Yes, it's a very pivotal time. It's pivotal. There's no need to be afraid. You got to adjust. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here with this message. You have to adjust. One thing is for sure, 2 things is for certain. Babylon is falling. It is going downhill rapidly. But one thing you got to keep in mind is the Most High, he proclaimed within his word that his people would escape our captivity in great substance. So how will that transfer of wealth take place? And what will be your mentality when it's presented? Son of Light, thank you for the support. Says martial law near, you called it, Nubreed, and the masses are going to get rocked back to sleep. Such a sad story. That's a fact. It's coming. I mean, think about it. You right on point, my brother. Think about this. They start putting military in the streets, setting up sanctions, setting up checkpoints, taking over military bases in various cities, and then they start cutting off food stamps and SNAP. Oh, they're setting the stage. Oh, they're setting the stage. You get the military in place, you got to prepare for the civil unrest, right? Yeah, and that's what they're doing. It's a setup. And we've been talking about this, man. When I be going live, it's just nothing but confirmation to everything that's been being said. And look, things are not what they seem in America. It's a mirage. Everything looks like it's flowing. But when you really lift up the dress, oh man, when you lift up the skirt on America, you'll see that it's riddled with diseases. And it has real foundational problems. Real foundational problems. It's like a home that's built up to look nice on the outside, but the foundation is bad. And a strong gust of wind ready to knock that joint down. A house built on sand. But the reason that's happening is because there's a transfer of wealth taking place. And not the type of transfer y'all think. There's a transfer of power going on to God's righteous people. It must all crumble. It must all collapse so God's people can come out on top. There's nothing that happens on the face of this earth that's not designed to benefit those who love God. Nothing. In this situation is no different. This situation is no different. See, what's going on right now is the Lord's trying to get us out of our comfort zone. I said what's happening right now is the Most High is trying to shake us up out of our comfort zone. How long will we continue to do the same thing expecting different results? That's insanity. Everybody want to be locked into a 9-to-5 that's not promised. I'm not telling you it's a bad thing to have a 9-to-5. I'm not saying that at all. But while you on that 9-to-5, just understand there's other opportunities out there for you. There's other opportunities when you can build the right relationships and when you can network with the right people. There is opportunities. But if you get caught up in this rat race or this hamster in the wheel, you already see that there's no certainty. Even those in the federal government has found out there's no certainty. They shut the whole government down. Countless people lost contracts. Countless people lost jobs. Teachers have even lost pay. There's people within the last 2 weeks who have not received a paycheck, relying on that system. Why? You put all your eggs in one basket. They take 8 hours of your day every single day to run you ragged, only to let you go. There's no certainty in that. It's just no certainty in that. And this is coming from somebody who has been owned multiple businesses for the last 6 years. I haven't punched nobody's clock in the last 6 years. And I knew this 6 years ago. And I'm saying that because there's opportunities out there. Anybody who network with me, oh, you're going to be blessed. Anybody who building with me, oh, you're going to be ahead of the curve. And it ain't just me. There's others like me who see what's going on and not just talking about it. Not just chatting about it. Yeah, we all can see that America's going downhill, but are we going to continue to participate in the ish show? Because it's going to get wild in these streets. Some of y'all already feeling it at your workplace. They already cutthroat. How many of y'all seeing people at the workplace getting desperate, trying to throw people under the bus to lock in a position? How many of y'all recognizing there ain't no real unity in these work zones? That it's more like dog eat dog. How many of y'all realizing what's really happening? Where everybody is out for self in an atmosphere where you barely scraping by anyway, paycheck to paycheck. It's not fair. It's not fair. Yeah, they out here about to empty out the food banks. They about to empty out the food banks right now. Once that's done, what you think is next? Now, keep in mind, some months ago, Trump have already put it out there that Section 8 is about to be taken out next. Oh, man, wait. Y'all think it's crazy now? Oh, food stamps within the next couple months, that's going to hurt. But when they add insult to injury and pull them Section 8 vouchers and start moving people's stuff outside, then you're going to really see how real it is. Make people homeless. He already got the homeless relocation plan in play. It's all a setup. Let's let this ambulance pass. We talking about these streets. You're going to hear a lot more of that. Section 8 and hood. That's right. You're going to hear a lot more than that. You're going to hear a lot more of that. Somebody said, what up, Breed? You right, 100. Says, depend on God, not the Babylonian system. Like the book of Revelation said, come out of Babylon. That's right. But keep in mind, in them scriptures, it say that we're going to come out of our captivity in great substance. But has anybody ever asked themselves how that's going to happen? Now, keep in mind, the scriptures say that the kingdom doesn't come through observation alone. That means we're going to have to do something. So when we come out of this captivity that we're in America, in this Babylonian captivity, have anybody ever questioned, well, how is the Lord going to do that? How is he going to do that? Exactly. And how are we going to have great substance? It's going to take the work. It's going to take you uniting with like-minded people. It's going to take you doing that. Relationships are strong in this day and age. Because guess what? The wicked, they're getting closer and closer together. They put aside all their differences. I can tell you that right now. Y'all seen how quick Trump and Elon made up? Elon left that White House with a black eye. You seen how quick they made up to get back on the same page? Why? Because the relationships is what's going to get you through. And me personally, brothers and sisters, I'm not trying to hear no scriptures from nobody if you're not going to offer me a meal and I'm hungry. I said, I ain't trying to hear nobody touting no Bible if you're not going to feed me. Because that's the times we coming into, where people going to want some food on their plate. People are going to need substance and sustenance. I'm telling you, because it's going to get real out here. And when it does, don't say you wasn't warned. Yep, somebody said all the wicked folks I know got backup. That's what I'm saying. All the wicked folks got backup. Question is, do you have y'all's backup? And that's why my platform has been, you know, a global network for a lot of brothers and sisters. And it's not a game. Like, when this whole social media apparatus called YouTube first started, a lot of people was only thinking about, you know, getting views, clicks, and likes. I'm thinking about the relationships. Because what's going to happen when you may be able to get 1,000 people watching you live, but what's going to happen when, you know, the grid is shut down? That's the way my mind thinks. That's the way my mind operates. What's going to happen when that takes place? What purpose is being able to gather to talk this real talk if when things hit the fan, we can't come together in real life? Because we know we like-minded because we meet up here. We meet up here to chop it up. Y'all got to understand how real it is. All the movies you've seen, Civil War, The Purge, all of that is real. You want to be insulated with a network of people who all see what's coming. It's deeper than social media. It's people really going hungry right now. It's people who really need support. And guess what? Their churches ain't going to help them. But we want to make sure we can help those who want to help themselves. Let me see. It says, as many people that are in the chat, can you imagine what can do with 700 people when we're together? Exactly. And that's the way we got to start gearing our minds, y'all. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm seeing some videos coming out. They're going all over the internet. And people are saying that if them stamps don't hit in November, they hitting licks, they pulling capers, they running up in the grocery store. One lady said she's running up in that store, and if anybody tries to stop her, she gonna get one of her biggest cousins to break jaws. I'm telling you, it's gonna be pandemonium out here. November, about the middle of November. I don't know when those stamps hit, but I don't want to even be a bystander. You don't, like, in America, you don't even want to be a bystander up in these grocery stores. I'm telling you, this is how people are talking. A lot of people are talking like that. Why? Because they went too reliant on the system. I feel sorry for the people who really had an open mind, trying to get by. They just needed that supplementary income to do what it is they need to do to get by and thrive. I feel sorry for those people who really just needed that as a stepping stone to get what they getting. Yeah, somebody says they're going to crash out and mash out all them stores. I'm telling you, this stuff is not a game. Yeah, yep, that'll be a good idea to go ahead and go get your groceries now, whatever you're going to get. Get them Jones soon. I don't know, find out what day them stamps hit, because people not going to act right. People not going to act right when them stamps hit. When they supposed to hit and they call that EBT and they not there. Even though they being warned, you're not getting them. Yep, somebody says, I am on food stamps with children. God knows our needs. He will provide all our needs. God didn't keep us alive to throw us to the wolves now. That's true. Let me see. Let me take a look at this real quick. And Sister Marie, love, she says, look, the Most High got her. And I agree. Listen, if birds don't have nests, pardon me, I said that wrong. If birds got nests and foxes got holes, then surely the Most High gonna look out for his people. That's for sure. You know, I come from a stock where we learn to get by. We learned to do what we had to do to put food on the table, even if we was eating eggs every day or beans every day or rice every day, rice and beans. But we got by. We got by. But in 2025, we shouldn't even be dealing with that, because the rich are getting richer. They're financing everybody else in the world but its own citizens. But that goes to show you the government, it just doesn't owe us anything. And what they really fear is us having financial freedom outside of them, outside of their little jobs, outside of punching the clock. And I always have to say this, I'm not disrespecting the 9 to 5. I work so many jobs, everywhere from pizza places to security work to warehouse job, fast food job, grocery store job. I worked every job there is known. But guess what? I always knew that it's more out there for me. I always had an open mind and I always remained optimistic. And I understood the value of relationships. People actually put me on to different things. Being willing to be very open-minded. And that's why I tell people every time, if you want to be a partner with me on any endeavor, you reach out to me via Instagram. Just chop it up with me. You find out that people who network with me, they get to the next level in a lot of areas in life. Even if it's just giving you information. And so, yeah, this is why I put that out there. Let me see. Somebody says, yep, digital ID and CDC is going to change the world for the worse. Look, man, I'm glad that I got like-minded people here. Hear me out. This is what's next. Remember these 3 words: universal, basic, income. That's what they're setting the stage for right now. Universal, basic, income. That's the system's top priority right now, to get everybody to beg for a solution. It's problem, reaction, solution. You got Democrats and Republicans at a stalemate right now. Government is shut down. So you're going to have people begging for an answer. Begging. And the answer is, you know what? If you want a monthly siphon of an amount of money, then you're going to have to enroll, or it may be even more invasive than just enrolling in something. It may be, look, we're going to have to put 2-way radio frequency ID chips under your skin, like the mark of the beast, Revelations 13 or Revelation 16, 17, under the skin. And we're going to do exactly what UK is doing, where nobody can receive this universal basic income without it. That's the mark of the beast. That's what they're gearing for. Yep. Somebody says you're absolutely correct, right? When you do your research, you'll find out. Fact check me on this. They want everybody reliant on them for their daily bread instead of doing what? Relying on the Most High for thy daily bread. We live in some uncertain times. It's like the days of the prophets. They're gonna turn this into Hunger Games out here. There's gonna be a lot of sisters out there, man, that's gonna need protection too. That's something that really comes to mind when they start really getting these HUD and Section 8 vouchers. When they start getting rid of them and they start putting people out, man, these shelters are going to get full very quick. The shelters are going to get full quick, and they're going to have to create different campsites. That's what's going to happen. You're going to see campsites of people, just like in the movies, and they're going to be militarized. Militarized campsites. You're going to see children, women, men. You're going to see a little bit of immigration there. And they just going to be all walking around in soup lines at the rate America's going. If they continue to do this, if they continue what they're doing, that's what it's going to look like. It's going to look just like that. Military campgrounds, probably ran by FEMA. And you're going to see people in tents. The tent cities will now be militarized. Behind barbed wire fences. To do what? Keep these people out of the smart cities. Keep these people out of the nice areas. Because that's how America works. Hear no evil, see no evil. Long as them people ain't there when people pulling up the football games and basketball games, and long as they not pulling up to the events, people don't care about what's going on with those people. Now, that's not the fate of you brothers and sisters, because y'all like-minded. Y'all gonna move accordingly. You're gonna be innovative. You're gonna be creative. You're gonna understand the time you in. You're gonna move with an understanding that we have to have some motion. You're gonna understand the power of camaraderie during these times. You brothers and sisters are not gonna be selfish energies. If you got a selfish energy, you're gonna be by yourself through all this. I don't network and build with people who got selfish energy. Somebody says it'll be like Nebuchadnezzar 2.0. Yes, it will be. That's exactly who Trump is reminiscent of. Nebuchadnezzar. Hold on, let me wipe this off. Somebody said it. Josephine, she says, Khan, this is why it's written to look to the days of old. I'm definitely going to need a head. I don't know why they believe that feminism issue, but wake up. We need our Israelite men. Right. Right. No, she's absolutely correct. She's absolutely correct. Like, don't buy into this feminism propaganda that they pushing out here. Actually, they've already proven that the system has already proven they're not loyal to you ladies. They're not loyal to you all. Imagine they gave you the vouchers, they gave you the hood, they said, look, you don't need to rely on him, we're gonna take care of you. And then they pulled that. That was by design. That was by design. Because this is war at the end of the day. And they look at our women as what? Spoils of war. Spoils of war. So you got to understand what time we in. Let me see. Somebody says the women shall respect her man by God. Yes, yes. Let me see. Somebody says they separate families in the first place. Right. And that's what they did. They didn't separated the families, and now look what they're doing. They're pulling all their government assistance after separating this family, after breaking dynasties and legacies. And now they pull the assistance. And for a lot of women, that was their incentive. Their incentive to go it alone was, look, I could just put you on child support. I could just go to the stamp office, the hood office. I can just go to Section 8. I don't really need you. That was her mentality. I mean, we got to bring up this harsh truth. That was her mentality. And now there's consequences for that mentality. And listen, I'm not one who likes to see anybody down bad. I'm not one who wants to see anybody in these very precautious situations. I don't. And it's not too late for the sisters to bounce back and really become part of something great and find some type of leadership, guidance, and head of their life. It ain't too late. But what I will say, however, Hey, brothers and sisters got to get on point now. Particularly you sisters, you got to get on point now. Because the scriptures say where there's no leadership, the people perish. Where there's no guidance, the people perish. And clearly Trump and them ain't guiding you nowhere. This system ain't guiding you nowhere. Nowhere fast. Get the likes up on the video, y'all. Get the likes up. Let me see. Somebody says people will perish due to the lack of knowledge. Right. And that's real talk. A lot of people are perishing because of lack of knowledge. Like we were talking the other day, yesterday, or a couple days ago, rather, about how there's no jobs out here. And somebody got me mistaken and was saying, well, Breed, that means there's no money out here. No, that's not what I said. I said there's no jobs out here. There's plenty of money out here. There's plenty going on. There's plenty of motion. The currency is flowing. But you gotta be networked. You gotta be linked in, and you gotta be on top of things. And you gotta have motion. Somebody says, some of us listened to your advice years ago. I sure did. That's what's up. Yeah, the government is on autopilot. I believe AI is running the damn government. If you ask me, I believe AI is running the government. How you bring in Elon, who is the head of the Department of Government Efficiency? We talking about the AI guy? What are we talking about? Trump spends $500 billion on AI. That's one of his first executive orders. And now the government shut down. That's enough I need to hear right there. Okay. Well, y'all using algorithms and codes and sequences to run the government. I'm not slow to this. I'm not slow to this. Yeah, there's a lot of people losing benefits, man. I'm really concerned about what's going to happen in New York. New York going to have it real rough. It's going to have it real rough in New York, man. California, places like that. The streets going to get wild. And of course, in these type of situations, crime goes up. Crime is going to go up. Look, I'm telling you, Trump trying everything in the world to trigger people, bro. He got that military in place for a reason. Think about when all this first happened. He's sending the military to all these major cities. It don't really seem like no real crime is going down. They start harassing people. Now it's like, you know what? Cut them stamps. Cut some jobs. This is how we get crime, poverty. We need crime, so we're going to have to make some poverty take place. Obviously, these people are too comfortable. Let's get them out their comfort zone. Let's get them running capers again. Let's get these people doing home invasions again. Like the book of Esdras tell you, because of what? Lack of bread. That's what the scriptures tell you in Esdras. Because of lack of bread, people will be pulling off home invasions. When somebody's stomach get to touching their back, they running in somebody's house. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to get to the point where they're going to be running in people's houses up in the suburb areas because it ain't no food in the hood. And that's when you're going to see those checkpoints set up. Ain't no food in the hood. They're going to have to go to these big, nice houses. People going to do it by any means, bro. Somebody is going... Listen, you give this a couple months. I don't know how long the stamp's going to be cut. I don't know, but it seemed like the well is drying up. I be telling people keep their Second Amendment. Keep your Second Amendment. I don't tell nobody to operate in fear, but always be ready. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Wow, somebody said Louisiana announced no SNAP benefits for November, lack of funds from the government. They got funds else. Somebody says having a credit card gives you the mark, but it's all about who you give your loyalty to. Well, the mark of the beast is considered something that would be actually in a person's body, edged in their skin, an actual mark. Yeah, we definitely witnessing the fall of Rome. This is really similar to what happened in the Roman Empire. Somebody says, the cities will be your doom. I'm telling you, them highly concentrated areas. I was reacting to some news from New York, and they said over 2 million people are on SNAP benefits in a concentrated area like New York, condensed like that. 2 million people. A lot of them gonna be in housing developments with no food that month. Oh my goodness. Listen, I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want nobody that I know in that situation. If you in that situation, there's no disrespect to you, but you got to be safe. You got to be safe. And, understand that that's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's not something that, I'm telling you. Can y'all imagine that? You in a tenement building with 400 other people beside you. None of them got stamps that month. Oh, that brings back robbing season. Like, they're literally trying to bring back robbing season. That's around the holiday season, November, ain't November everybody getting prepared for what? Christmas. I don't celebrate them pagan holidays and don't want y'all to celebrate it. But you got to understand what these people are doing right now. It's the middle of November. You don't have no stamps, so guess what? You got to spend that money on what? Whatever money you earn, and you got to spend that on food. New Yorkers are strong. They'll make it. New Yorkers are strong people. They'll make it. But I'm saying that situation, some people gonna crash out over that. All while it's getting cold outside. Yeah, the wolves and the vultures come out. That's when the vandalism starts. That's when, guess what? Trump got a reason to do what? See, y'all see how they piecing this together? That's when they start really sending that military, and guess what they do? Lock the hood down. It's a reason why all of those buildings got fences and all that. That's when martial law come in. Off situations just like that. Geraldo, thank you for the support, says, at this point with the government helping everyone else but the U.S. people, it's them draining the pockets of the people and mocking the ones that can see. Right. Right. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're giving us a series of manufactured crises along with very real life responses. Manufactured crisis with real life consequences. That's what you see in America. Y'all heard that here first. That term I just dropped on y'all. You're seeing manufactured crisis with real life consequences. That's the best way I can word what you see happening in America. They stage a lot of things only to bring forth real consequences. And y'all see how they like to bump people out my chat? We had 940 and they just knocked them out. Y'all got to get the likes up. They be playing a lot of games with my platform, bro. They don't want me to win. They don't want us to actually get these notifications. They play way too many games on my channel. But nonetheless, those who meant to get the message, y'all gonna get it. Let me see. Yeah, we're gonna win anyway, because we can see what they doing. Even though they throw all kind of obstacles on my platform, they like to just play. I mean, they play so many games. And it's up to you, the good people, to really get things popping, because, again, there's not too many voices out there nowadays that's gonna really put the truth out there. And I want to forewarn y'all. I'm gonna put this out here. If you on stamps and you going through this right now, let this be a learning. Listen, let this be something that you learn from. Let this be a learning experience. Understanding that you gotta be self-sufficient. And when I say self-sufficient, I don't mean just you personally. You need a network. Part of being self-sufficient is having your network. I ask this all the time, and this is something I want you to consider. I always ask y'all, how many contacts y'all got in your phone? And a lot of y'all got between 30 and 80. That's a lot of contacts. But if I were to ask y'all, how many of those people you can rely on, those numbers are going to deplete astronomically. If you were to if it was a dire situation, how many of those people can you rely on? Some of y'all even said none. Some of y'all said none. Hold on, you got 30 contacts and you only got 1 or 2 people that you can rely on in that contact list? No. Something's not right about that picture, because you're living in a time where you need a support system, a real support system. And I'm gonna ask y'all the same question. Feel free to share that data in the chat. How many contacts is in your phone, number one, versus how many you can rely on in a dire situation? It's an important question. How many of those people are supportive of you? How many of those people can see your vision? How many of those people are reliable? Somebody said they got 80 contacts, about 5 people they can rely on. That's crazy. In a time like this, that's not good numbers. That's not good numbers at all. So what that means is it's time for you to do some cleaning. It's time for you to clean up your contact list and truly reconvene. Come back to the drawing board and make sure you purging that phone, and make sure you got some reliable folks in there. For real. Somebody says, I delete my contact list every December 31st. Somebody says, we need to abandon technology or support system outside your phone. Well, you can use the technology to keep your support system locked in one place. There's nothing wrong with that. But what we need to abandon is our procrastination. We need to abandon our procrastination. Somebody says, buy canned and frozen foods and water. Yeah, that's an important thing to do in this day and age, man. You know, I would argue that, and this is a fair argument, that we may be running low on food in America. We may be, I don't know. I mean, you mass deported. You did this mass deportation where our Hispanic brothers and sisters were afraid to show up at the farms because they thought ICE was going to snatch them up. A lot of farms don't have anybody tilling the soil and doing the work. So it's very possible we just don't have it. It's very possible we don't have it. So they saying, look, we got to cut them stamps. It's all by design, though. Yeah, they afraid to go to work for them ICE raids. Yeah, a lot of farms are going bankrupt. I mean, farms then dropped 70% in the last 5 years. 70%. 70% less farms in the last 5 years. 70% less farms in the last 5 years. And if you remember, when Biden was in office, they were just burning the damn farms down. Y'all remember that? Trump just packed everybody up and sent the workers away so the farms can just bankrupt. But when Biden is in office, how many of y'all remember that it was cows on fire? Yo, it was crazy. They was blaming the issue on global warming. It's like, why this farm just on fire? 1,000 cows here burnt to death. Like, what? Bro. They went straight barbaric on the left side. Yeah, farms produce the food. Yeah, they'll tell you it's a nature fire. The hell? So nature just decided to burn up all these cows that make milk and poultry, and burn all these chickens and goats. Like, come on, man. This is all by design. Order out of chaos. They want to be able to control the food supply, because guess what? You control the food supply, you control the people. If the power is in your hands to stop those food trucks from running, you can damn near get anybody to do anything if they ain't got their own farms. You can damn near get the world to do anything when they hungry. I'm telling you. You gotta look out. Them pop-out boys, they gonna be outside this winter. This winter gonna get bad. See, they trying to get them crime rates to go back up. Some would say, Breed, what you mean? Trump's sending all these people to get the crime rate down. No, don't believe everything you read. The media's full of dirty tricks. Excuse me. No, they trying to get that rate to go up so they can engage the people. You need crime because crime keeps your prison pipeline full. You know how many cities and towns eat off prisoners? No, you need crime in America. America's a criminal enterprise. What are we talking about? Guns and butter. This is America. Like, what are we even talking about? Somebody said centralization, the real purpose of Agenda 21, 2030, hidden behind all the sugar-coated lies about sustainability. Exactly. See, I got people who can see. Exactly. In order to promote the idea of this sustainability, you got to destabilize everything. You got to create a destable place so you can sell the idea of sustainability. As if God didn't give the planet everything we need to sustain. Come on, man. Come on now. Are we cooking? You're going to sell us an idea of sustainability. God, first of all, who gave you the authority over necessity? If you look around at the world, listen, if you look around in nature, do you understand that everything is there for you to survive? All the materials it takes to build a house is in nature. All the food is in nature. All the energy can be solar energy. Everything that's out there is designed to sustain the earth. And God did that. Not the government, not a mayor, not a politician. God did it. So y'all gotta look out for that too when they sell you this sustainability idea. That's all nonsense. The only way you can really sustain is when you self-sufficient. When you got land that got you some solar panels, and you got food, you got livestock, and you got a water supply, you got you a well dug. That's sustainability. When you got you a homestead or something, that's sustainability. And none of us, the mass majority of us rather, don't have that right now. But we're working towards it because we can see what's going on. And we don't want to be slaves to this system. We want to be set apart like the scripture said. We want to be sovereign. Somebody said we should work as a community, gather food, make shelters, make clothes, etc. Not these other jobs, and not all day, every day. We got other things to do. Our relationships, knowledge, etc. matters too. Right, but first thing we got to do is get to some capital. That's the first thing we got to do as people. You know, when you look at every other nation of this earth, you would be surprised how many millionaires they have. You would be surprised. And a lot of them started with a strong foundation. So our people got to start from the bottom a lot of the times. But nonetheless, the first thing we got to do is learn how to work together and support one another in business so we can get to the capital to be able to do those things. We need resources. We cannot rely on anybody else to pull us up. But if you're unable to work with others to put y'all's minds together to build, then there's no way to get there. So that's the first thing. Our minds got to be on taking advantage of our resources that we do have, meaning our people that really have opportunities for us out there. Z Corp Alpha, thank you for the contribution, says, so we stop itching online and solve our issues, personality and professionally. I agree with that. Thank you for the support. And that's what we doing. That's why I told y'all that I got some business opportunities. Not even that. It's not even opportunities. It's actually partnerships. That's why I told y'all I got some. I'm in search for some partners on my new business, on my new endeavor. And it's very lucrative. It's a lot of travel involved. I told y'all, reach out to me, Nubreed 404 on IG, right? So anybody interested, reach out to me. If you want more details, I can send you some details, and you know, we can chop it up. Pretty soon, I'm gonna be setting up a Zoom meeting, and when we do that, we can we can chop it up there as well to get more details. But nonetheless, it ain't about sitting online complaining. It's about actually networking with people. How long are we gonna sit up here and watch the damn economy crash? Watch people lose jobs. Watch them take away SNAP benefits and HUD and WIC, and then we seeing that this thing is going downhill fast. We see that there's so much uncertainty here. We can see that the streets about to be crazy out here because it's not really much opportunities with these jobs to excel because they all getting shut down. When we gonna stop talking about it and be like, you know what, look, y'all, let's come together. Let's come together. Yo, it's gotta be some other ways out here. All the great minds of our people, hey, let's have a meeting of the minds. We had a meeting of the minds a couple days ago out here in Atlanta. Fantastic event of people who just ready and people who are really, moving forward. But, I'm here for y'all. I support y'all in all y'all endeavors. And this thing is unfortunate, what's taking place out here. I want y'all to stay safe, stay ahead of the curve, think out the box, chop it up with y'all real soon, man. I got more material coming. If you want to support my work, support me via Cashapp, Nubreed Global Truth 77. If you also interested in some of the partnerships that I have and you want to be involved, and you hit me up on Instagram, Nubreed 404. Anyway, man, more material coming. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.